Yeah. Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te la ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. De corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz. De corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunes. Lunático.
Microphone check 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. We're going to get right into it. If you missed any of this, you can obviously see it on replay. And if you're seeing it on replay, you already know what the deal is. Okay. Welcome to Balloon Bangs and everything. Let me pause that for a minute. All right. Let me put this up on screen. That's it. Nope. All right. Let's see here. I think I like this one better. No, that didn't work. Okay, let me see what else I can do here. Here we go. Perfect. All right. First, I'm going to start out with some good stuff. Super Bowl MVP. I told you about him a long time ago. I literally told you guys about Jalen Hurts. Literally, in fact, I did a little, at least a, what would you call it? A segment on him. But not a whole video, but a segment. about how, basically a decent brother like him is in the mix. Unfortunately, well, let's find out. Here we go.
Why is everyone surprised that the 2025 NFL champion and Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts, is dating this modest and classy lady instead of the usual Instagram baddies? The Philadelphia...
Yeah, right. Yeah. Shows a level of maturity that most men, even twice his age, don't have, which is cool. Which is cool. He's showing some maturity. I'm going to keep it going. I'm not saying that because it's being like peaches and cream, but let's just, at least I can see he's putting in the effort to be a loyal man. Let's see. Here we go.
Eagles quarterback and Brianna Burrows met at the University of Alabama. After graduating with a degree in political science, she later got an MBA and now works at giant tech company IBM as an artificial intelligence partner. Hurts, on the other hand, got his degree in communication and information sciences before completing his master's in human relations during the NFL offseason after the Eagles lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs in 2023. The couple had dated on and off for a while after college, but he knew she was the one.
Talk about getting your lick back. I mean, they demolished Kansas City. It wasn't... I stopped watching that, a little after halftime. When you get to put in your backup quarterback in the Super Bowl, you put that lick on him.
Down on one knee in 2023. The same year, he broke Cam Newton's 2011 record, scoring 15 rushing touchdowns by a quarterback, and became the highest paid player in the NFL with a $255 million contract.
No wonder Kendrick Lamar is so loyal to his wife. She has 3.
All right. I don't know if he's loyal, but at least he treats her right? I guess. Well, let's find out. Here we go.
Irreplaceable qualities. Whitney is a makeup artist, while Kendrick's net worth has reached $140 million, which leads some people to think she's not worthy of him. However, Kendrick says, without her, there wouldn't be me today. First, she's been by Kendrick's side since their teenage years. They met in high school when Kendrick's family was struggling, and only Whitney always believed in his ability to achieve his musical dreams. As a result, many of Kendrick's songs are dedicated to his wife, even featuring her voice in some tracks. Kendrick considers his wife his best friend in life, someone he can confide in without hesitation about his fears and confusion. Secondly, she always understands Kendrick.
Lamar, yep. Let's keep it going.
You had gifted your sister a Toyota, and your sister was happy about a Toyota, correct?
Definitely.
It was new. It wasn't the one that you and J-Rock go to the studio. Okay, that wasn't good enough for the public.
I don't know if it was the public or it was kids on the internet that figured she supposed to have a Lamborghini. She's younger than me, so she didn't have to go through the same struggle me and moms had to go through. I want to continue that thing to appreciate something.
Both my nieces just graduated. I saw that, and I was like, hey, don't follow Kendrick Lamar on social media.
That's pretty cool. We're going to keep it going, guys. It's funny because, all of my naysayers or whatever, they're, oh, yeah, you get on black men, and everything. Did you know that if you go through my tapes and their tapes, I have highlighted more positive black men than they ever have? Combined. Just shows you how fake people can be online. Here we go.
Devon Franklin is now engaged to girlfriend Maria Castillo after 1 year of dating. Sources says the preacher and producer surprised his girlfriend while they were on vacation in Hawaii. Celebrity trainer Maria Castillo by popping the question during a photo shoot outside the Ritz-Carlton. Now, in case you didn't know, Devon Franklin was married to the beautiful Megan Good for about 10 years until 2021 when he filed for divorce. Now, Megan Good moved on and she's currently engaged to actor Jonathan.
Well, actually, good for both of them. I hope John has learned something and is Jonathan Majors. I hope he's learned something, is now, tempered his temper. And Mr. Franklin himself, it's a little bit weird because She's quite younger than him, but she's 30. That's old enough, I guess, right? According to Kevin Samuels, I'd be hitting the wall already, right? Okay, there's, let me get to Devin's new girl. Hold on one second here. Yep, let's see where it's at. The new one, where's the new one? Dang, they're showing a lot of Megan Good in this video. You gotta look real fast for the one. Okay, let me go back here. You know, there she is. She's pretty. Not him. Oh, there we go. Yeah, good for you, Devin. You know, let's keep it going. I guess be careful, Devin. She's hitting the wall. She's 30. Be careful, Devin. I know you're 45 or almost 50. That's okay though. But be careful. She's about to hit the wall, man. What are you gonna do? Oh, more good men. One of my favorite good men, of course. Well, no, that's not him. That's his wife, Ciara. I guess they're going, what, on 8 or 9 years now? You know, 8 or 9 years. MTGV in the house. It's good seeing you, MTGV. Here we go.
Baba. Future. La. Babe. Babe.
Oh, there he is. Remember, that's the man that when Kevin was alive, he was calling him a simp. Kevin, who was barely married for 1 or 2 years, right? Angela Reddick, who was barely married for 1 or 2 years, right? Kevin Samuels giving out marriage advice. And I don't know about you fellas, but I'm probably going to take my marriage advice from somebody who's been married for 8 years and is extremely successful than somebody with a checkered past and couldn't even keep it together for 2 years. I don't know about you. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that up as maybe something, you know, you also think about. And ladies too, you know, think about why listen to some fool who has not been able to successfully be successful. Here we go.
You ready? I can't hear you.
All right. This young lady here has been celibate for almost a decade. You know, good for her for being, you know, patient, you know. Here we go, y'all.
Boo.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hey, girl.
Hey, Kendra.
What's your name, boo? The all-new Kendra G Singles dating app is available now on iPhones and Android phones. Just go to your App Store or Google Play Store.
Let's give her some love. Go to her app. You might as well try it. Now, if it's got red pill dudes on it, you know, that's a problem. But you never know. You never know. It might be a unicorn or a needle in a haystack. You never know. Let's find out.
And download now.
Carmel.
Okay. Carmel. And where you calling me from?
Calling from Mexico.
Calling from Mexico. How old are you?
I'm 40. I'll be 41 in a couple weeks.
Okay, 41. What is your zodiac sign?
A Pisces.
Pisces. Carmela, right? Or Carmel?
Carmel.
Carmel.
Carmel. You have any kids?
I do. I have a son. He's 20. He'll be 21 in a couple months in July.
Okay. Carmela, Mexico, 41, Pisces. A son that's 21. Have you ever been married?
Nope, never married.
Never married. And what do you do again? What do you do for a living?
I'm a holistic practitioner. I'm a master herbalist and iridologist. So I'm in the holistic wellness field.
Okay. And Where do you live? I know. Are you vacationing in Mexico?
No, I live in Mexico. I've been here for over 8 years, but I'm really close to San Diego. So I always tell people I'm from San Diego, but I like to be honest because, you know, I do actually live across the border in Mexico. But I was literally in San Diego yesterday. I crossed, my church is in San Diego, so I cross all the time.
Dang.
Okay. So we got Carmela.
So she must be right over, like she could still see the wall or something.
Carmel.
Why are you messing around? Carmel, here we go. Carmel, I apologize. Carmel, Mexico is where she lives. 41 Pisces, mom to a 21-year-old, never married, is a holistic herbalist.
I'm a holistic practitioner and master herbalist. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do it, girlfriend. What kind of man you looking for?
One who is a servant leader, someone who is empathetic, someone who's open-minded. I live a very healthy lifestyle, so definitely healthy lifestyle is very important. I'm like, when I saw the other lady say that she's a vegan, she lives a plant-based lifestyle, I do as well. So that's very important to me, to live a healthy lifestyle as well. Spiritual foundation. Why are you making that face?
So listen, you know I'm a jokester, so I didn't say it out loud, but the joke in my head was, y'all might have to date each other.
Oh man.
But I wasn't gonna say it out loud. But let me ask you, do you meet many men that you like that fits your eating requirements?
I meet some who live a healthy lifestyle, and they might be like pescatarian or vegetarian. Or if I tell them I'm also a plant-based vegan lifestyle chef, so a lot of times it's like they don't know what to cook and they're interested in the plant-based lifestyle, but they just don't know where to start. So I love when I hear those types of things, because I can teach you. Like I'm a chef, so I can make food. I can make, you know, all the foods,
cool.
and
that's real cool.
Everything tastes well. It's difficult because the restaurants, sometimes it's watered down. Like the vegan options are very watered down. And the things that I make, even I don't enjoy some of the food that I eat out at the restaurant. So like, I feel like if you're willing to explore and you have an open, that's why I said open-minded, because if you're open-minded and you're willing to explore and learn and maybe take your health to another level, then okay. Like, but I do meet people who, I mean, in San Diego, you live in LA. So like everybody's outdoors running and, you know, enjoying nature because the weather is really nice outside. So people already kind of live a healthier lifestyle. So I do meet people who live a healthier lifestyle, but not necessarily plant-based.
So now, for, like the other lady, it was a requirement. Is it a requirement for you?
Yeah. Like she was saying, like the intimacy, everything. Like I want a husband, I want a partner. I love to cook, as just like her. Like I love to cook. So I want to cook all the healthy meals and stuff like that. And I don't want to worry about cross-contamination. And, you know, like she was saying, the intimacy is different. Like you can throw off my pH balance. Like you can like throw off my body, and I can get sick because you're sick because we're intimate. I can be sick because your bodily fluids can be throwing off my pH and all that kind of stuff.
Dang, she's breaking it down.
So I'd rather us be in alignment in that way. Yeah.
Ooh, child. You gotta worry about STDs and chicken.
Angela Reddick states she is beautiful and a chef. Wow. I hope she gets a good match. Yeah, me too. I do too. I do too. You could tell that she's very, very adept when it comes to health. That's cool.
Yeah.
Ironically, that's the type of woman Kevin should have picked, but he's too busy, dating kids. So, he didn't, it didn't work out. She could have this woman right here, probably Carmela, could have saved his life. Say, hey man, you're not eating right, whatever. But nope, he had different things in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you, girl. I got you.
Like I can get an infection. You know, as women, our bodies are very sensitive. So like I can get an infection, I can get sick, or you don't want to make your woman sick because you're not in alignment.
No. I mean, even you guys, both of you guys look like you're immaculate, like shape and all those things. It definitely benefits you health-wise to not eat meat. So I
Yeah, I mean that's a good thing. I mean, really, you should focus on. I think a lot of people, that's where they go wrong. Is they don't focus on their health, and if you don't, it pays you back in the worst ways when you get older. So that's something to focus on, everybody. But yeah, she's she's going to be a great catch for somebody. I guarantee you that. Let me roll up a little bit more. Well, anyway, that was the good stuff. Now let's get to the, number one of my favorite content creators, number one. But yeah, you can watch the rest of this on Kendra's show. She's a very nice lady. So she's in Mexico/San Diego. That's doable definitely for a lot of people. And yeah, good for her. Good for her. Here we go.
Back with another triggering topic. Now, today I want to talk about men.
You're triggered in the house. Here we go.
Who hide behind polyamory because they lack the character and actual discipline.
Yep. If you go to that's the one thing in Red Pill. They really try to sell you on multiple women, but you want that woman to be loyal, don't you? That is the funniest thing out ever. Yep.
To stay faithful to one partner. Now, this episode is featuring Neo. And quick disclaimer, this video
Neo
is filled with my thoughts and my thoughts alone. Everything is all alleged. Nothing is factual. I do not know any of these people personally. Now, this is a commentary channel, so oftentimes I do use clips as part of my critical review and also in accordance with fair use guidelines. Now we got all of that out of the way. Let me say that the definition of polyamory is a consensual relationship style where people have more than one romantic or actual partner. And usually the man is the only one, especially in the Black community. The man is usually the only one allowed to have different partners. And if the man does allow the woman...
This is really, to me, a scam. What it basically is, polyamory, in my opinion, is just basically male hoes who they want to even increase the amount of hoedom they have by having women around that'll do this. They don't necessarily, most of these men don't even have that much money. That's the funny part. And is he loyal to these 4 women? Ignoring the already questionable argument of, can you be loyal to 4 women? No. I guarantee you they all buy into him finding new stuff every other day. This is really, to me, polyamory and this kind of stuff like this is basically, in a lot of ways, the practice of hoedom for men. It never goes right for the women. So let me keep it going. I think they're just trying to make something that, in my opinion, is not that respectable. They're trying to make it respectable, and you never can. And it's weird because they never really do get married. You can't get married to 4 women. That's how it is here in the States. So they can't. It isn't a real thing. So, welcome New York to SF in the house. Good seeing you. This knockout Black woman is on the wrong show. Oh, yep, that young lady. Yep, you nailed it. Rhea and Nobu or bust. That's so true. That is so true. Here we go.
To have a different partner, it most usually or always is strictly women. And I think we both know why that is. It's because number one, it's in the man's comfort zone. He gets to usually have his fantasy or kink of watching one of his women engage with another woman while he doesn't have to worry about any jealousy or competition from other men.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Basically, what it is that it's a polyamory is a practice of orgyism. It's it never makes any sense to me. It's just basically, I think a lot of narcissists are drawn to something like this because when he feels something isn't right or he's he'll just go to another woman. But the cool thing is he doesn't have to even leave the house per se.
Men, because most men truly believe that they should be the only ones that have their cake and eat it too. Now, I saw this pic of Neo, and frankly, I was disgusted. It wasn't a flex. It wasn't sexy.
Remember now, those ladies look like they're probably max 30. Neo is in his 50s, I think. Let me see something for a minute. Neo's age. It's 45. But notice how a lot of these men go after women that are a lot younger than them. I mean, they could be in their early 20s. And here he is basically promoting whatever you want to call this, more hoedom. Because it's funny, because if they saw a woman, if anybody from in fact, they already have, the guys already have said something like, wow, look at her, with those 3 dudes and stuff. And they would call her a 304 in a minute. So why isn't he a 304 then? Why isn't Neho a 304 as well for dealing with multiple people? Why isn't Kevin Samuels a 304 for dealing with 6 women at a time? So that's the funny thing, is that this hypocrisy is ridiculous.
It really was disgusting. And, I hate men that use women as accessories. They make it seem as if one woman can't satisfy a man because one woman doesn't have.
And that's a good point. The reason why is because the man can't even satisfy himself. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying use his right or left hand or nothing like that. But what I mean is that a lot of men don't feel whole. They don't feel like they're enough for society, period. And it's something that may have happened when they were children. Because that's why therapists always bring up the child theory thing. But basically, at the end of the day, you have a lot of broken men running around, running around society, breaking other people because they didn't fix or repair themselves when they became an adult. What I mean is this, is that you can get, if after 18, your mom doesn't have to, or your dad doesn't have to tell you to go get therapy. You can just go get therapy. And a lot of you guys out there, and even some women, something's wrong emotionally. There's nothing wrong with going to get help. You can throw Neo, all these women that are around Neos, imagine those being Band-Aids. That's all they are. He's never had a loyal day in his life. And that's a lot to do with damage. There's many reasons why people cheat. But basically it's like this. For Neo, he cheats because he's damaged. And what would you call it? If I had to take, basically he has some clinical issues. I'm going to put it that way. I'm going to let a doctor tell you exactly what he has, but that's it. So, that's basically Neo. And this next one, hold on for 1 second, because I got to mute this next one. You think Miss Indiana Mom in the house? Here we go. This is one of the baby's new song. And of course I got it muted because, it's a song, right? It's a song. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. The Baby, his new hit song. He a hoe, not he at 3042. And I commend him for admitting it. I commend him for admitting. I actually see this as a positive message because he's letting men know that if you live the type of life he lives, that a lot of men do, that he a hoe too, not just women. Well, I mean, it should be true. There are more 304 men than there are women. Statistically, I'm sorry, fellas, there's no other way you can argue that. And the reason why is because by stats, men have 3 times as many partners than women do in our community. That's 3 times that's a lot. Let me keep it going though. Let me keep playing this. Yeah, look, So this is what's going on. I mean, he's on here, with his favorite one. Well, she's I think that's Young Miami, by the way. And they saying they 304s. So it's an honest. I like his honesty. I mean the song. I mean, I don't really listen to the beat. I'm not a deep into rap and stuff. But he made a decent message. Especially, I think he's trying to clean up his image a little bit too because he said some really misogynist stuff in the past. But this message. If I got to take a sliver or a slice of things out and say something good about him, why not? New York to SF, TMC. Glad that this has given up on begging Megan for a collab. Megan Thee Stallion, right? I hear that. Here we go. Yeah. That's the baby for you right there. But there's more. Okay, I get to unmute it that time. Here we go.
Kanye West started off this week posing next to.
I don't even have to say. There's your new. I mean, basically, don't you all find it weird that one of our biggest role models in hip hop, and it is hip hop, ladies and gentlemen, it's hip hop he makes. Don't give me, oh no, it's rap. No, hip hop is different. No, hip hop is like one of the most bigoted people. Look, this is what he says. One of the most bigoted people, in the United States. You could argue that he was one of the kings of hip hop. I mean, you still can. Let me go forward some more. Yeah. Yep. Look at that. Look at that. I just want to throw that up because y'all want to always protect hip hop, but this look what you got here. Look what you got here. And then we got more stuff.
GOP representative calls Beyonce a DEI winner of the Grammy for country. Let's get into it. Put it up full mask. Had to be him. GOP.
This is how you know a man is just, he hates himself. He probably doesn't even know anything about country. At all. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure there's some competitors that maybe, you know, should compete a bit. Her country album was really decent. It was really some good work. I've listened to a couple tunes. I mean, I'm not only talking about her music, but just country in you know, in general. Decent stuff. And I think it helps her, and it really helps country because it opens up more listeners. What's wrong with that? I mean, really, what's wrong with that? And this fool comes out from the master quarters or whatever and calls her a DEI Grammy winner. That's crazy to me. That is crazy to me. Let's listen a little bit more.
Representative Burgess Owens called Beyonce a diversity, equity, and inclusion recipient of a Grammy Award last week for Best Country Album, complaining she was not a real country singer and that her accolade would cause the country, talking about America, to suffer. The singer made history last Sunday when she scooped up the award for her album, Cowboy Carter. The Grammys noted Beyonce became, quote, the first Black woman in Grammys history to take home the award for Best Country Album. Now, isn't this an interesting time period we're in?
I mean, it's crazy to me. I mean, you would think anybody with a logical mind would just let that just basically just kind of like just wouldn't say anything. Oh, yeah. Angela Reddick says, yep, he is just saying what his voter base wants to hear. Yeah, exactly. He's and then when he gets home, he's like, yes, massa. What else can I do for you? Can I do something else for you? I dance. New York to SF says, meanwhile, 65% of DEI hires they are crying, you know, Caucasian women. Wow. So that means there definitely wasn't enough DEI to go around. Ain't that something? You know, but hey, it ain't, you know, there's laws are made up for them. They vote for it. They get, you know, these things. I think that was from, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, good for them. Anyway, let me keep it going, y'all. Oh, I think I got to mute this one too, because this is Dwight Howard. The funny thing about Dwight Howard to me is this. Look, there's nothing wrong with some dude being whatever the F he wants to call himself today. But I mean, he's already, you know, made it clear that he likes men too. But the problem is that it's not the fact that he likes men. It's the fact he's freaking toxic as hell. So I hope she knows she's going to get the same business. And it's just a matter of time. She's going to get the same business that the other women got. That includes the ones that he cheated with. And men. My bad. And men. And men. He's going to get the same. Look, there we go. This is the one thing how you know. This is she doesn't know. She doesn't know, but she will find out. Let me just put it that way. And this is coming from a dude. Usually you hear that from women, and then women say, oh, and then men will come back and say, oh, you're just mad, you're just bitter. No, scientifically, a toxic man is going to continue to be toxic. Very few men really actually self-repair. They just don't. So remember when I think I was telling everybody, who else was on the clock? Oh, yeah, I remember DDG was on the clock. I told everybody that DDG was on the clock, and he ended up being on the clock. Actually, he lasted less time than I thought he would. I can predict this stuff, and he's in the same boat. Congratulations, the young lady, for as long as you're happy. And let's go on to one of my favorite hip hop artists. Really, he is. Even though let's listen to it.
Tell me the first and last time you.
Shoot, I hope that. Okay, maybe that was the intro, so they'll let me slide. Okay, so Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes. He likes women. He likes men, and that's okay with him. That's okay, dude. You make some great music. Keep up the music. But the problem is not that. The problem is that he's really, believe it or not, he beats up on men, his girl men, or whatever you want to call them, his male partners. That's a problem. There we go. Yeah. Hey, good for you, man. But get your temper. I guess my common theme is you got to get the temper in order. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's bring up this. Here's Gabriel.
I just felt entitled to it as well.
Yes.
It was just dysfunctional from day one.
You know, as kids, I used to put on heels. I used to do all those things. I try to put on whatever my sisters wear. When all my sisters did, I tried to do those things.
They went to the back and there was a bunch of old and young boys back there, all naked in the Wade house. So I find it funny that Gabrielle's sitting there talking about Boosie.
So word on the street is that Gabrielle Union is low-key getting her ducks in a row to serve Dwayne Wade with divorce papers. And the tea
I didn't know she was still with him. I mean, really, quite honestly, if she's at a dead-end moment with Dwayne Wade, she better move fast because, she's still beautiful. She's still really beautiful. But hey, look, time not on your side. No, it ain't. Indiana mom breaks it down like this about the DEI thing. DEI helped Caucasian women more than anyone else. Most Hispanic people and Black men got no help because they weren't qualified for the corporate management type jobs in the first place. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
She allegedly caught him stepping out on her with a man. Now, there's this one.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't blame Gabriel Union for wanting the divorce. I mean, the thing is this: he didn't I'm sure he didn't walk up to her and say, "Yeah, I bang men too," and do you still want to get married? To Gabriel Union, he's not saying that. He didn't say that. So it's when it's funny how these men how they have like their own thing that they don't tell a woman when they're getting married, and then they want to say, "Oh, you're just a gold digger," when the woman just doesn't want any part of that. She has a right, just like he has a right. He has a right being how he is, whatever you want to call it. She has a right whether she wants to deal with it or not. And that's that. I mean, why? I mean, why would she? Maybe she doesn't want to share her man with other men. And if that's his preference, then it's just not going to work out. It's just like if he was cheating with women, who I believe he might be doing that too. So that means that's double the trouble. That's just bad. That's just bad for business if you're Gabriel Union, because if you're trying to be the loyal wife, it shows you that submission doesn't do anything. Men are going to do what they're going to do. Here we go. I'm here with the submission thing. Submission is the worst thing, actually, believe it or not, I think women should do, because I think what happens is men think that you're really on the hook and that they'll get some leeway, when it comes to doing something either bad or cheating or something like that. That's how I think about it. Yeah. Gabrielle Union has had his beard for over a decade and pays 50-50. She doesn't want that deal anymore. Great quote, New York to SF. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's just not a good deal. It's just not. So I guess what I'm saying is this: don't get, angry at Wade, but definitely don't get angry at Gabriel for wanting a one-woman man. That's funny how these men are getting literally livid because women are wanting a one-woman man, that they don't have to worry about catching any kind of disease or anything like that. I mean, that's a deal. I mean, that's not men today in our community are making that a deal. It's a bargain if they're a one-woman man. Now, they might have some other issues like, DV issues or whatever, but just to be a one-woman man, they can't do that. But usually what happens is men that are not one-woman men that cheat a lot, they usually are going to be on the upper echelon of the DV level as well. And ironically, it's funny, but a lot of pastors are some of the biggest HOEs, male pastors around. What's going on with this situation?
Law enforcement agencies called me on Sunday.
Okay, so who we have here is, remember YNW Melly, Yelly? Well, let's see. Why is this? Okay, here we go. There he is. He always has a smile on his face. I'll say that much for him. Look, he all happy. He's all happy. He's all happy. He's all happy. Let me show you his ex-girlfriend. Where's that? So let me bring this down. Let me bring it forward.
The housekeeping issue on Mr. Stevens' case.
That's his ex-girlfriend. Look what a high-value man did for her. Put her in jail. So where's this protection and provision that is supposed to be one of the valuable components that red pill men have? I don't think she likes that outfit.
Well, in the interim, so I'm pressing pause on this matter right now. Mr. Benjamin, what can I do for you? Judge, after this morning's session, we all conference.
Yeah, but she's getting out of that shit.
Or tennis move,
Your
Honor, to extend the time for filing motions and notices of hearings for some time, so we can 10 days.
So I mean, I'm not gonna look. The bottom line is this: she knew that he wasn't right. I don't think she knew that much, but oh well. She's a pretty young lady too. Hopefully she gets out of it. She has a whole life ahead of her. She couldn't be more than what, I don't know how old he is, but she looks like she could pass for 18. I thought men were supposed to protect women. What is she doing in some prison skivvies? MTGV, you are so right. It is such a shame. I'm only going to do a short clip on this MTGV, but you might want to bring this up to everybody if you haven't already. By the way, she has great content, amazing content, by the way. But I mean, this needs a lot of attention because this just shows how this is what you call choosing wrong. Even though YNW Melly has all that money, he's just like Diddy. What good is it if it puts you in this kind of, what would you call it, situation? What good is it? I mean, so I hope she gets her life together. I'm glad she has that. She said ex-girlfriend. So she's already doing better by her new thing, because that's a much better situation to be in. And no, she's not snitching. As soon as he got her into trouble, she becomes a witness. And that's how everybody should think about it. She's now a witness. If you want to bring your woman in on some nefarious acts, she's a witness now. You should have left her alone. Should have left her at home. Or him for some of these rappers. You know?
Today marked a very important day in the YNW Melly retrial case, as it would be announced Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton has been released from the Paul Reed detention facility as of Saturday, February 8th. After
Good for her.
Ruling for her release on Friday. At an emergency hearing, it marked the first time Melly and Mariah had seen each other in person since he surrendered himself to the Broward Sheriff's Office in February 2019. As YNW Melly was seen walking into the courtroom, seeing Mariah for the first time in 6 years. Smiling massively, trying not to make too much eye contact, but sources in the courtroom say that Melly teared up a little. However, this isn't good for YNW Melly. After her release from jail, Hamilton would acknowledge her family and friends who supported her while being detained in a Facebook post on Sunday. The post reads, "Into my village, thank you, my village. I love you all so much."
Right there. Let's take a look at her. She looked like I don't know. Maybe that food isn't healthy. She is super thin. I bet, depending on her height, she couldn't be over 100 pounds. I hope when she gets out, she'll pick up some weight. She needs to pick up some. I could tell people who need to pick up weight. She could pick up a couple pounds. I'm not going to say, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, she could, I think she's going to, being out will be healthier for her.
Sunday. The post reads, "Into my village, thank you, my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." As she allegedly did not like how this was broadcasted on the local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents.
I want to play that one more time. She has no arrest record until now. I mean, let me put this on mute for a minute. Play it up. I mean,
Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now.
Where is that protection and provision she was supposed to get? I thought men were supposed to be like the logical ones, right? I thought men were the logical ones, but she messed around with Melly. And she got what she got. But wait a minute. It's so confusing because wait a minute. YNW Melly is a high value man. So I guess that high value didn't work out.
U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Understanding how jail life is, Mariah does not want to go back. The feds already know what happened to Sack Chaser and Juvie, but to convince the jury, all they need is Mariah to confirm it in the upcoming retrial. And the deal was for her to be released from jail is that she has to testify against YNW Melly, to which she agreed. The feds are exposing the findings that they had in her iCloud account, where they noticed suspicious activity relating to YNW Melly, forcing her to not testify in trial, which is known as witness tampering. This carries a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly actually took out Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Filing 6 new charges.
That is it. If you mess with witnesses, you're going to get hit up on it. Judges don't like that shit. See, a lot of people don't understand how law works. Law works like this. If a judge don't like it, that's a problem for you if you do it. Witness tampering is not something you want to tamper with.
It's a life sentence in prison, regardless if Melly actually took out Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
They don't play, man. They don't play. Tampering gets you a life sentence. Like as if you did and see, Diddy did the same thing. And to me, you can understand why, because number one, if you have to tamper with somebody to be innocent, then what's the opposite of that? Again, if you have to tamper or threaten people or coerce people to make them do something you want them to do, but they don't necessarily want to do, then you're guilty. That's what's happening right here.
Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
As the feds began their investigation on Mariah, speaking with people in YNW Melly's hometown, as there was a lot of talks and rumors.
That is crazy. Let me keep it going.
Rumors about Mariah's involvement, and they were able to get everything. But YNW Juvie's father also did his own investigating with them as well. He knows a lot of other people in the area, and he ended up finding the real good evidence, such as the code words that Melly used to make Mariah not testify against him in trial.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they're going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom.
Again, if he was, to me, that's the super duper. To me, that's like evidence to me that you're guilty. They could shut this down right now, as far as I'm concerned, and send them off to jail. Because basically, if you got to mess around with other people to not be guilty, then you're guilty. Just like Diddy, yeah. Just like Diddy.
And
as if found guilty, Melly will be sentenced to life in prison for witness tampering charges alone. However, it gets worse, as this didn't settle well for YNW Melly in court. As during YNW Melly's court hearing, he would react with his true emotions, walking in looking very angrily without a haircut. But his mood would quickly change when the judge started talking about releasing him from jail as well as Mariah. As it was announced, Melly has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days.
Let me repeat myself. Mr. Demmons has to make an informed decision about who he wants his lawyers to be. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for a week. And then I'm asking for at least a day or two.
You can decide by tomorrow. I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
as the judge couldn't believe that Melly's been sitting in jail this long without a conviction. He straight up told the prosecutors, "Give me the reason why Melly shouldn't be free by tomorrow, or I'm releasing him on a bond." They would then end up sharing the evidence that Melly committed witness tampering, as it answers why YNW Melly has been treated so poorly inside of jail. It began with an interview.
There you go. So basically, he took his chance, because I'm sure when he had a lawyer for a temporary, they probably told him, don't mess with anybody. And he did. And he found out, didn't he? He found out big time. Here we go.
Interview from Melly's mother. She made the claim that Melly hasn't been allowed to use a phone or look at his own mail inside of jail.
My son has not been convicted of anything.
No, he hasn't been convicted of anything, but if they had to, they could. They should speed up. They should speed shit up. But if a lot of it may be that he doesn't have a lawyer, that's on him. That's on him.
And even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters.
But they didn't. The problem that you're not seeing, young lady, is that they see what he does when he's in jail, well, he's going to do more when he gets out. Remember back in the day, in the roaring 40s or whatever they called it? 2040s, I don't know. If one of those gangsters got out, all of a sudden and within a week, all of the witnesses would disappear one way or another, or would be somehow summarily deceased in one way or the other. The courts are on to that shit now. No. No. Anyway, let me keep it going. I'm going to skip that for now. More dating.
Hi.
Hey, Kendra.
Hey, baby. So you said you've been here before.
I can't see you. What the heck? My phone be tripping. All right, long as y'all can hear me. Can you see me?
I can hear you and see you.
Oh, I can't see myself. Okay. Hi, y'all.
Hey, girl. So you told me in the comment section you got an update?
Yes, I don't know if you remember me from the last update from the guy that I was dating. He came to give an update. The guy Lucky Love that was singing. I live in California. He came from Illinois.
Oh, yeah. Here before?
Yeah.
You seem familiar. You have an update?
Yeah, I do.
What's your update, love?
Hey, baby. Kendra.
Hi, who's this?
Hi, Kendra. So this is my girl, Onisha.
Hi, Onisha. Okay, Lucky, tell me who Onisha is and how did you guys meet?
Okay, so I was on your app, or on the show, I should say, about a year ago.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a little, like August or something like that. Long story short, you put me as a highlight, and I got reached out by too many women to even think of, to be honest. Went through a whole bunch of vetting by just messaging and just seeing who was kind of normal and just responding normally and just having that. And then
he's asking for normal.
I did a test where I just kind of I asked respectfully for some time for myself to see if they would be able to handle, I'm a musician and I go and I travel all the time. So I just wanted to, if I'm off, doing a show or a tour or something like that, I don't want you to be like freaking out the whole time because you're so codependent. And I'm not gonna lie, out of like 30 that were left in the vetting process, like she was the one that stuck out like a sore thumb. I mean, she was absolutely
in the house eating Adele. She says, this already looks like a train wreck.
Sweet from the start. Ended up meeting each other. I drove from Illinois all the way to Los Angeles. And
oh my God, wait, you drove from Illinois to Los Angeles?
Yeah, I was like, the lady was driving 7 hours yesterday. I was like, that's definitely.
So you drove from Illinois to LA to meet her?
Dang.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I
Okay,
mean,
when
obviously,
did
it took
you
a
do
couple
that?
of months of talking for her to convince me.
Okay, yeah, I was talking for a couple months. I'm assuming y'all were FaceTiming during those
Yeah.
times.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. We got to make sure.
From August to like October.
Indiana Mom says, does he not own a comb? And why doesn't he take a second to clear his throat? Yeah, I know. Let me clear my throat.
It was a small break. That's when he did his little test. And then he sent me a voice message one day, just, checking up on you. Hey, hope all is well. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. And we picked it back up from there. And then one day he say, I'm packing, I'm on my way. And he been here.
Wait a minute. So you live in LA now?
I've been lived here. I'm originally from Baltimore. I've been living here 7 years now.
No, I'm saying Lucky. You live in LA?
Yeah, I live in her house.
Yeah.
You live in her house?
Uh-oh, folks. So it sounds like they're in a homosexual relationship because he went to her house, which is very common for musicians, by the way.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you moved in with her?
Trying to contact you over the weekend. I went and met his family in Illinois for his birthday. His birthday was the 6th. I went and met the mom, the grandma,
and
the
for
daughter.
all you cousins who are talking smack about my mom's basement, first off, it was my grandma's, so you were wrong. And
it didn't work out.
What happened?
Well,
I
see why it didn't work out. I see why it didn't work out. She has a house and he doesn't.
What happened?
I'm not sounding racist or nothing, but where he's from, he was adopted into a white family. He's just been privileged all his life. I don't want to cry, y'all. I didn't cry enough or whatever, but I tried. I'm a hardworking woman. I'm a mother.
Wait a minute.
And he just wants somebody to take care of him. And in the beginning, of course, you got some stuff going on. You relocated here for me or whatever. I give you a chance, but you come into my home.
Wow, he used her. Wow. That was cold. See, men can be gold diggers too. At least house diggers.
And you see how hard I work every day, Kendra. I work 16, 18 hours. I don't know if y'all recall from his update. I'm a CNA. I work every day.
Man, that's hard work. It pays good, but it's hard work. And yeah, mom says he didn't visit. He moved in. Convenient, since he's a musician, suddenly moved in in with a woman in LA. Yep. You nailed it. Houston, this from Eden Adele. Houston, we have a collision. Train wreck accomplished. Homosexual established.
Every day. And it was just he wanted me to take care of him. That's not me. I've done that before. And, early on, I had seen some signs of some stuff, red flags. And I was like, hold on, baby, I'm on the show. I said, I don't think this is going to work. It was like March. He got here January. I met him on your show August of last year. We talked from August to December. And I mean, every time he talked to me, I'm at work. My kids are at the babysitter. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And initially when he first came here, in his brain of talking to me or whatever, he didn't believe that I worked the way that I did. He was like, oh, I never met somebody that worked you about your business, whatever. All right, bet. Now, when we talked or whatever, he said he had his music thing and he was in the rehab community and he did this or whatever. Half of it was lies. Found out the rehab thing is a scamming type of thing. I don't do nothing illegal, no scam and no jail record. I'm 38 years.
So he was in rehab? So basically he wanted a place to live.
So a mother to two, he come with a record, scheming and scamming stuff. And I'm like, that just don't work for me. In March, he was like, it's still early. Give me a chance. He crying, it's new, whatever. And I'm like, okay.
Wait. You caught him doing something. I missed that part.
He said that he was going to work, but it legit wasn't a job. He got paid for whatever he went to go do, but it wasn't a job. It's some scamming crap that they got going on here in LA. So I was like, I don't go for stuff like that. You got to go get a legit job.
This turned out to be worse. I mean, you talk about she gave him a chance. She gave the bus driver a chance. right? And look what she got in return.
You know, I work every day. I'm working every day. Like you know, you in here running up my lights and eating my food.
He helped in the rehab center, but he was by being an employee scammer.
Food and playing the game. You know, like, come on, you got to do. You're a man. You know, we talked about this. You know, granted, yes, when I was looking for somebody, I was single 4.5 years before I decided to, you know, join into this. And I went through all the taking care of people and doing all this craziness. And I did a lot for him. I mean, it got to the point. It was March, and then, you know, he ended up getting a job. I'm gonna say about 6 months or so ago. He was out 2 months because he got a job at a college. He was out for the winter break. Then the fires came, so he was out again. And in between, he doing whatever. I'm just like, sorry, y'all, that's my washing machine. So I'm like, you know, I'm just trying to bear with it. I mean, my family is involved, everything. We just trying to make it work. And he just being so irrational. His whole thing is, you know, I came into her home and then, yeah, he didn't move some furniture in here. He didn't put up he did some stuff. But like my family said to him, you know, that you didn't have to do those things. You came when you first came and you didn't, you know, want to be here. You chose to stay. And in the beginning, for like 6-7 months, you stay here rent free. My rent ain't cheap. I live in a nice neighborhood in California. I'm not in LA in the jungle, in the hood, or none of that. So, you know, you chose to do that. Thank you.
So basically, there's always these men running around saying, oh yeah, what do you bring to the table? Yeah, she's a gold digger. There are just as many gold digging men, and this is a perfect example of it because house digging is better than gold digging. Men moving in with women who have their shit together when the men don't. I mean, it's the reason why I have this doubt with musicians is I've been around them for a large amount of my life. Though I usually held a day job and did the DJing at night, but I just saw how they moved. And it's beautiful, the music they play. But I will tell you this about musicians, very rarely are they really making money? And most of the time, a lot of the musicians, they're really not in it for just the money. If they were, they would end up getting a day job and only taking the good gigs. But they're in it really. A lot of them, they do it to attract women. So it's one of the number one attractive. It's one of the most attractive traits to women is being a musician. Oh, and shit, don't be a singer. Problem is that when it comes to being responsible or professional, that's just not what you're going to run into. So it's better for me, instead of telling you to look for a needle in a haystack or a talented needle in a haystack or a, you know, talented unicorn. That's why I say I wouldn't even bother with musicians, and definitely not rappers. That's why I went over the YNW Melly stuff and been going over anybody who says they rap. You should not take that as, wow, that's cool. You should be going, okay, and leave it at that. You don't have to, should you call it? Be mean to them about it, but you should know that that's probably something that doesn't make a whole lot of money for most in that industry. Now, to me, rapping is it's a good poetic thing. It's cool. The only problem, really, quite honestly, it just doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't even pay the light bills for most instances. Don't get me wrong. We do have a few like YNW Melly or Diddy, or he's not a rap. Well, he sort of raps. He did some rap. Anyway, or other guys who were able to slip through. But for the most part, I would say probably maybe 101, 201 guys make it in the rap industry. Maybe it's probably bigger than that. It's got to be around 10,001 or something. But I'll dig up those numbers later. Here we go.
Thank you. And I mean, I tell you, I've showed this man so much appreciation. He came here with a busted up car. It broke down within the first week of him being here, Kendra. I Ubered him around or whatever he needed to do. End up finding
See?
little piece of car. Now, only thing about me, I ain't perfect, but I don't drive. I come from Baltimore City originally. I moved out here on the wing and a prayer some years ago with my oldest daughter that just turned 12. I couldn't raise my daughter there. You know, her dad, he was a great dad. Never take that from him.
Now,
he has gone to.
Why am I playing this? Because I want to show you the justification of why I play some Cynthia G. Here we go. Wait, let me fast forward this. Okay.
If you are not already subscribed, and thank you so much, Ivy, for putting the thank you, Ivy Mercedes, for putting the link in the chat box. You guys can go subscribe. Again, it's not mandatory for you to subscribe. If you want to see the content, you would have to subscribe. Either or just do a la carte videos, which I'm making that available and accessible to y'all as well. Of course, I do want to thank everybody. Hey, Stormy. Welcome, Stormy.
Let me fast forward.
Listen, I like the quality of Nicki Minaj's nails, but she needs to do something about the sizes. The sizes of her nails are kind of like problematic a little bit. So I was going to leave a review on her website.
Okay, let's go past that.
There is no other group of women on the planet who have to look at and deal with other groups of women sitting up showing surprise and disdain for the fact that the men in their community appreciates the women and or even have an interest in them. And that tells you a lot about Black men. The fact that that woman, those women were essentially crying foul because a Black man is dating a Black woman. That's the type of reality as Black women that we are dealing with. Because Black men have gone out here and degraded Black women's image as women to such an extent and hyped up these women on a pedestal to such an extent that some of them would sit in a video on a podcast, get on the podcast for the sole purpose of trying to drag and shade a Black woman because a Black man is dating her.
That's where we're at now. That's crazy.
Johnson said the title prize denotes a game. A contest took place. No sane woman of healthy self-esteem would enter a contest, some sort of sport to win a prize, being a man. Yeah, so we definitely go get into that because we're going to define what a prize is, and we're going to look at what men are saying, and we're going to determine whether or not they are the prize, because ultimately, I believe men are out here trying to convince you that they're the prize when they themselves know that they are not. And you are right, Chrissy, Erica, we have allowed men to think that they are the prize. We've allowed them to think a lot of things. We have allowed them to think many, many things. And that's where we tend to not recognize our role in this situation. We tend to not recognize where we went wrong.
I thought everybody said that Cynthia G, doesn't hold women accountable. She's doing that right now. What's you guys' problem with her? Well, what's your guys' problem with her? And here's another thing I need to bring up. I listened to Cynthia G extensively. I've listened to Kevin Samuels extensively, probably to the point with Kevin Samuels that I know more about Kevin Samuels than his fans. And if you were to historically find out which person was most out of pocket, as you would call it, it's clearly Kevin Samuels. If you're looking at an objective point of view, if you're looking at a completely objective point of view, Kevin Samuels has been with a lot worse. I would say, if I wanted to put a numeric number on it, if from taking from the point of view of how I've seen men respond to Kevin Samuels, and I've seen men respond to Cynthia G, and I've seen women respond to Kevin Samuels, and I've seen women respond to Cynthia G. Kevin said a lot more inflammatory shit. A lot more. So you guys got to stop this bullshit. I'm just going to say it straight up. That's just, you can't, just because you find offense in what somebody was saying about your hero, you need to look and see how your hero is behaving as well. I still, to this day, remember how he treated that singer who passed away recently. He used the Grinch to basically disrespectfully describe her. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I used to watch Kevin Samuels. I watched enough episodes of him not to like him as a person. Yeah. So just, if you don't like somebody's channel, just like Cynthia G would say, just tune on into another channel. But definitely don't get mad at her. Because if you get mad at her, you have to get mad at Kevin. If you're a fair guy, if you're not biased. Because he did a lot worse shit. He scolded lawyers, dissed doctors. I don't know how many women he demeaned. It's beyond numeric calculations. The one thing you can say about Cynthia G that puts her on a way higher pedestal than Kevin Samuels, as she didn't just have men come on her show and start talking personal-ish about them like Kevin Samuels did to other women over and over and over again. And here's the hypocrisy of it all. The only women that he really respected were the women that he could get something from. Remember when he had... what's her name? The one who dated the basketball player, had a kid by him. Everybody was calling her a 304, even though the basketball players were 304s. What's her name? I'll remember later. He treated her like a queen when she came to his show. Remember? It was about a 2-hour show. Kevin treated her like a queen. He had no problem with her. But he had problems with doctors and he had problems with lawyers. And that didn't sink in. That didn't hit a note with you guys? You guys are mad. Cynthia G. Oh, he's a bandit. If a person's a bandit, they're a bandit. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it goes. That's just the way it is. You guys have the nerve to say, well, you should have chose better. Well, she's telling women how to choose better. You should be commending her, not getting mad at her. You should be commending her. She's trying to teach women how to choose better. Don't get mad at her because choosing better doesn't mean you. Yeah. Don't get mad at her because she's trying to make women choose better. And you damn well know by specifications, it's not you. The best way, if you want to get back at Cynthia G, is to be the opposite of what she describes most of you are. And I'm talking about the men in the red pill because you guys probably have the traits she talks about. Yeah. You should be going to her show, giving her cash apps, because she's telling you what women are looking for. You're just not listening because you know it's not you. Most of the time, she's really focused on the women. She's scolding them for putting up with you. They should be looking. If there's anybody who's the epitome of you should have chose better, Cynthia G brings that message. So why are you getting on her? Why are you getting on her? Oh, because you're not one of the chosen. Because you chose not to be one of the chosen. You chose that. You could have been respectable. You could have been personable. You could have been honest. You could have been non-male hoish. But you chose otherwise. And those are the type of guys she talks about. Those are the type of guys she talks about. See, you take it personally because she's really just describing a certain type of man, and it just so fucking happens to be you. She doesn't even know who you are. So it's not personal. She's telling you about a certain specification of man, which is bad for black women and her following. Really, it might be for all women when you think about it. And all you have to do is not be that man. All you have to do is not be that way. You don't have to be a sociopath. You don't have to be a narcissist. If you are, well, just get help. You don't have to be a homosexual. She talks about them a lot, right? That's where I got it from. You don't have to be, you don't have to be. How do you think the word Pookie and Ray Ray, or as Tam calls them, the reverse, the other races of men, Wookiees and Way Ways, that has been around for at least 20 years. I mean, the new modified version, I believe, is Tyrone. But the point of the matter is, if you were willing to make yourself into a better person, quite honestly, whatever she says wouldn't bother you, because it's like, look, if the shoe fit, number one, the shoe fits, let's keep it going. Hit dogs holler. right? If it doesn't fit and you're not hollering, then why should you care? If it, there's another one. Here he goes. If it don't apply, just let it fly. Remember that one? There used to be a dude who used to come to my chat a long time ago. This is before a lot of shit happened. But basically, he used to say that all the time. Oh yeah, if it don't apply, just let it fly. In that case, then he should be. He's probably a Cynthia G fan. I think his name was Cap or something like that. It's been about a year at least. So anyway, I mean, let me play some more. Here we go.
We don't understand where we're going wrong in this situation where men are running amok. Men refuse to put respect on your name. Men have an entitlement mentality. Even though all of these articles and think pieces and statistical data clearly identifies men as the problem in relationships and really just overall, because if you look at all the problems throughout society, they're going to be connected to men. It really just is what it is. Anybody who says it's not, you're going to have to understand cognitive dissonance is real. Some people don't want you shifting their reality. Even if their reality is miserable, they want to cling to it.
Right.
They want to cling to their false reality, especially if that false reality gives them comfort. And for men, the false reality of their own supremacy is one that brings them great comfort and an ego boost. So they're not really interested in any narrative that's going to put reality in their face.
I just said that. That's spot on. That is spot on. We have a problem in our community. We have a problem with reality. It is the man's kryptonite in our community is reality. We are not keeping it real. Because if you kept it real, then you would know you have some work to do. Everybody has some work to do. We shouldn't be competing against each other, or definitely not against, our women. Okay? We should be competing to lower our negative stats, as I would call it. We should be competing with other men. But we're not. There are way more black men dissing black women channels than black men competing with other Caucasian men's channels. Why aren't you guys competing with them? Why aren't you guys saying, oh yeah, I could do that. I could do that too. Or I can do better than that. And it not be about talking about a black woman. No, basically, and that's what you don't understand. Other races of people, they know the way that you treat a lot of you men, especially in the red pill or in hip hop, the way you treat your women. That's a sign of that you're defeated. You're defeated. There's this thing going around. People are going, "Oh yeah, we're doing this great. We got this." You're not. Hey, as soon as 90% of us, hell, let me scratch that. As soon as 50% of us are doing as well and as respected, as Russell, or doing as well as Jalen Hurts, And it doesn't have to be just in football, just in whatever field you choose. Choose whatever field you want to choose. Because, you know, you don't have to have that kind of money or that kind of talent or skill. But I'm sorry, in America, you do have to have a decent paying job. You can't be like that musician who was literally was a homosexual. Went all the way to Illinois to freeload off of that young lady. You got a lot. If Cynthia G is a problem to you, it's because you're a problem to you, fellas. Let's play some more. Let's listen to what she says. I want to see if you guys. Let's break it down. Here we go.
Still surprises me how Black women still find Black men desirable. Yeah, Smoke, listen. The only way Black women could really see Black men as desirable is if they have detrimentally low self-esteem. And I think we do know that the reality is, as Black women, our self-esteem is just nowhere near where it needs to be. Hey, Donna Dash, if you don't.
That I agree with. I do understand why Black women want to be with Black men. It's naturally been really inbred in both of us, men and women, that we want to be together for our culture. Not really that. It's just natural. It's just what we're comfortable. It's a comfort zone. The problem is a lot of that comfort zone is uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. A man is supposed to be your peace, but I'm telling you. And you want to hear the weirdest thing, the weirdest way that you can find a good Black man? Is date every race of man and then get a baseline. Because there's a couple things why your odds are going to be not as good if you do something else. Number one, you're working off a low baseline. You're working off a line of men who are like Diddy, who are like CYN-G Melly or whatever Melly. You're talking about men that like even Kevin Samuels, who wants a harem of women, because they can do that because there's more women in the community than men. If you jump out of your community and around for a little while, you start getting a new baseline. Like, shoot, I don't have to struggle as much. I don't get as many left and rights. And I'm not just saying because they're all nicer, because, oh, hell no, there's just as many bad Caucasian men as there is bad, Black men. The problem is there's just way more Caucasian men. And then that's just talking about Caucasian men. That's not talking about all the other options you got out there. Asian men, though they are pretty race loyal, but Latin men, mixed men. Since y'all want to split up, say that Black people and mixed people are not the same. Fine, okay, mixed men then, and so on. But what happens is that your options increase, which means technically you're going to be less thirsty. And when you're less thirsty, you make better decisions. That's really for both men and women. So basically, if your odds are better, it's just like if you're looking for a good job. If you have more job options, you're probably going to select a better job. If you have more men options, you are probably going to get a better man. It's that simple. Because your baseline is higher. You find out you have to work less to be successful within a relationship. They are working with you. They aren't telling you to be submissive or anything like that. You can, instead of asking yourself, do I need to be with this man that I know I'm going to get a left and right from on Friday, and then every other day is going to say that I should be submissive, or do I want to date some guy who may not be in your race, right? But is going to treat you like a queen. And let me make this clear. This is not guaranteed, because when you do step out, a lot of women, what they end up doing is finding a Caucasian version of Pookie, or a Latin version of Pookie, instead of finding a higher quality man, if you know what I mean. You're looking for Keanu Reeves. You're not looking for you got to look at one of my shows, Wookiees and Wayways, like that. Or like that guy who was dissing black women. So then what happens is you go out there and you start finding a new options. And then all of a sudden, that even if you do, you bump into a black man, you're not judging him on, oh, well, he's a black man, so let me only expect this. You're not in a bus driver type of mentality. You're like, well, I was treated good by this guy who was Latin, and this guy who was Caucasian, and this guy who was Nigerian, and this guy, since you guys want to separate Africans, so fuck it, I'll do it too, just to fuck with you. Anyway, see, you're judging them on, you're going to be judging even FBAs or whatever on the same scale of, this is the kind of quality of a man I'm looking for. This is the quality of man I am looking for. Somebody who's going to not be negative in my life, and who's actually going to do what we're all supposed to do as men, is raise somebody up. But if you're, men do it too. If you're in a situation of scarcity, well, you just you're going to settle. You're going to settle. So put yourself in a position of not choosing off of scarcity. I can't make a better point than that. And unfortunately, there's just not even if all black men were good, there's still not enough to go around. There's still not enough. There's 20 million black men. There's 220 million white men. Subtract all the racist ones and all the messed up ones and all the Wookiees and Wayways. You're still going to end up with at least 30 million of them that really truly want to respect black women, treat them good, just because that's just who they are as people. Let me let Cynthia G break some more down.
Donna, if you end up wanting to come up, just let me know. I am going to end up dropping the link for people to come up. There will be a 2-minute time limit. When you do, because we don't really have all the time in the world. So you're going to have to, with your responses, you're going to have to keep them direct and to the point. You are going to have to keep the responses direct and to the point if you want to come up and chime in, which we're about to get into this now. I just wanted to say that about those Becky issues, because I feel like I've been on here for years telling black women, not even just the pathology of black men, but specifically the pathology of those who date white women, who date, marry, have children with, invest in, and generally they do all have some degree of the same pathology. And if you pay attention to them, you will see that that pathology is very, very consistent. And it's consistently anti-black. And it has to be. It has to be. Because you're literally, as a black person, and a black man specifically, you're literally dating your opposition. Yeah, we're not doing the filibustering. We're not. I'm gonna, because here's the thing. Let me address this now, and thank you for bringing that up, Maxita. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because some people got in the comment section, and I'm not calling anybody in particular out. I'm really not. I'm just addressing this generally. Whenever I do a call-in show, people feel compelled to get in the comment sections and tell me how to conduct the call-in shows. Some people are under the impression that there is a benefit to allowing someone to ramble on, derail the conversation, and filibuster. I believe it's because a lot of people don't know how to identify when people are doing that. So I get a lot of comments about, oh, CYN, just let them talk. Oh, CYN, just let them finish their statement. No, we don't have time.
Right. I hear that. Well, if you want to see about the filibustering and everything, you have to go to Cynthia G's channel. I can't play this whole video, but I think this was a good talk tonight. I'm glad everybody was in here tonight. Shout out to Tanya Miller. Thank you for coming in. Angela Reddick, Eden Adele, New York to SFTCM. Of course, Indiana Mom, Rena West, MTGV Crime Podcast. Amazing show, by the way. Who else is up in here? Okay, if I Eden Adele, New York to SF, I thought there was one more person. No, okay, that'll do it. So anyway, everyone, you have a good night. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Oh, I guess that was a couple days ago. Still, hey, whatever. No, who cares? Happy Valentine's Day. Have a great week next week. See you on the next one. This is DJ Torch, and I'm out of here.